This guy Sinner. I love the mindset. I love how hard he works.
What can this guy bring to the party? And his Carota boys are very much present.
Jannik Sinner, a complete player.
It's sensational from Jannik.
I'm extremely happy that I am in this position now.
È a terra Jannik Sinner, l'Australian Open è suo.
And the fans that Jannik has in Italy and around the world.
The people love him, love him. Italy, they need to have this kind of energy about tennis.
With Sinner, you know, tennis is getting so much popular now.
Italy are the Davis Cup champions.
Behind soccer, tennis is definitely the #1 sport in Italy.
In the airports, in the station, they stop you to take a selfie.
A Jannik Sinner match is like a football match in Italy.
Well, what a moment for Italian tennis for the global stage.
The best in Italy.
We are here at Pellegrini, which is the most iconic Italian bar in Melbourne CBD, having a double espresso. There's a very strong sport culture in Australia and in Melbourne in particular, and people are very proud that this is one of the, if not the, sport capital of the world. I love the Australian Open, and I'm not the only one.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
People here in Australia, and particularly in Melbourne, embrace the event, where Australia feels it's in the center of the world. The spotlight is on Melbourne. There's something in the air that people are just happy to be part of this amazing showdown.
It's time for AO 2024, folks.
Morning.
I mean, all the players just love the Australian Open because it's the happy slam.
The world descends down under for 15 days of action as the biggest stars in the game hunt Grand Slam glory.
There's such a multicultural community in Melbourne that everyone can have its share of supporters. I was always a little bit envious that I've seen the Greeks celebrating, the Spaniards, and of course the Serbians. So Melbourne Park was becoming their playground, whereas the Italians were always a bit on the side. And then finally, in 2024, it happened.
Medvedev goes cross-court, backhand from Sinner, backhand cross-court Medvedev, up the line by Sinner, cross-court point Medvedev, Sinner goes up the line!
That's always the most important thing. What I learned also by watching Jannik, trying your best all of the time is the most important thing. We are making a series of sculptures, portrait sculptures of him. And here's the first one. That's when he won the Next Gen and that was in 2019. And now here we are making a sculpture from, I'm making it for the village of Sexton, and then they give it to him. Yes, we went to school together. In a school class there are always groups of boys, and he was always in the sports group of the class, and I was more in the crafts and farmers group. So we saw each other every day, and what I remember, he was always the best in sports, and he was always also very smart at school.
When I used to be very young, I was always outside. I was playing with my friends and, football, and, went to ski with the friends. And it's, I think, nice to see that, you don't have to have everything in the beginning of your career.
Over here there is a small football field where we always played together. There you knew already that this guy in sport is amazing. And we played here for Sexton.
For a very long time, this has been Austria. Since First World War, South Tyrol and Sexton became Italian. So the border switched from one side of the valley to the other.
We are a little bit different, like another Italian who is coming from the south. They are maybe more relaxed. We are more organized, maybe.
In Italy, a little bit in the south, I can go out a little bit and then I work. And the north, in Italy in general, are more attention to the details. And that's a good power to be a champion.
As we are very high in the mountains, and playing tennis is something you can do in summer if you have a summer, and we have very short summers. So they needed an indoor facility and decided to build an indoor facility in Sexton.
Die Tennishalle wird natürlich jetzt viel stärker gebucht. Es kommen natürlich auch Tennisschulen, die Interesse bekunden, hier Kurse abzuhalten, weil eben das Interesse der Kinder, der Jugendlichen schon sehr angestiegen ist. Und genauso ist es, glaube ich, in den Nachbardörfern. Also die Strahlkraft von Jannik ist schon groß, ja.
Questa sarebbe una foto che ha regalato Jannik a Klaus. Für Klaus von Jannik Falcade 24/3/2012.
Jannik can take it really easy. He's really friendly, and we are really happy when he wins. And so we can also drink some beer when he wins. Yeah.
Der Erfolg von Jannik Sinner hat natürlich einen großen Einfluss in der Wahrnehmung von Sexton. Wenn ich jetzt sage zum Sportminister in Rom, ich bin der Bürgermeister aus Sexton, dann weiß er sofort, wer ich bin. Vorher, wenn ich gesagt hätte, ich bin der Bürgermeister aus Sexton, dann hätte er wahrscheinlich gesagt, wo ist denn das?
Well, hello and welcome to the 112th edition of the Australian Championships.
Beautiful day for it.
Jannik Sinner safely navigates his way into the second round at the Australian Open. And he's done it in straight sets.
Von dem her gesehen sind wir ein ganz normales Dorf und jemand von uns, der aus einer ganz bescheidenen Familie kommt, hat es geschafft, in diesem großartigen Sport an die Weltspitze zu kommen. Das ist wirklich großartig und verdient Anerkennung und Respekt.
Guter Skifahrer muss natürlich eine Schnellkraft haben, wie auch im Tennis. Schwerpunkt, Mittelpunkt, Schwerpunkt, vorne, hinten, seitlich. Schräglagen sich leisten kann, je nach Gerät, was man auf den Beinen hat. Aber der Kopf spielt natürlich die größte Rolle.
Den Athleten vom Amateursportgruppe 3 Zinnern, Jannik Sinner.
Because they had the same time, and he was not sure how to manage it. Yeah. Yes, he was 5 years old when he was coming into our skis club. He was a little boy with long red hairs, and we knew that he is skiing very, very good. He was asking a lot. My last run was good. Teacher, what can I do better? A little bit special he was, but the rest he was a normal kid. This is Jannik doing a giant slalom in 2012. He has a very good position, and of course it was not easy. The track, some bumps, but he made it very good. I can remember it. He arrived in the second position. Yeah.
They were just kids like our kids, and they had a lot of fun going around for the ski races here in South Tyrol and the different places, getting up in the morning at 5 o'clock to be the first on the slope, to be the first to see the course, to be well prepared for the race.
Some days we went together up to the Kreuzberg Pass. It's a ski area here in Sexton, and we trained together there. You saw there that this boy, everything what he touches, he's good at.
So angefangen hat es mit ihm, also ich war nicht der erste Skilehrer von ihm, sondern es waren noch andere. Und er war ja mager und ganz leicht. Seine Eltern waren überzeugt, dass das nicht geht, das Rennen zu gewinnen, weil es einfach zu flach ist. Und da haben wir gesagt, jetzt schauen wir mal, probieren wir mal irgendwie was aufzubauen und ein bisschen spezifisch dahin zu arbeiten. Und er war ja so ein Bewegungstalent, der hatte alles anfangen können. Aber er wollte allein. Ich habe ihn allein praktisch, also er wollte nicht in der Gruppe, weil er sagt, also wir können uns besser konzentrieren. Und wenn man denen irgendwie was erklärt hat, dass er das verstanden hat, dann hat er das die nächste Fahrt sofort umgesetzt. Das war eigentlich das, was er jetzt im Tennis ja auch macht.
Welcome to a wet Melbourne Park, and it's the start of the second round here at the AO 2024. We have the qualifier from the Netherlands, Jesper de Jong, taking on Jannik Sinner. Immaculate from the start. Immaculate all the way through in his execution of the win today. Jannik Sinner, a straight sets winner.
At the end of the day, I love to play. You know, this is why I'm a tennis player, because, you know, tennis is you can play. That's also one of the reasons why I choose to play tennis and not continue with skiing now.
At one point, we heard this story that Jannik would stop skiing and wanted to become a tennis player. Many people thought, wow, if that's the right choice, I mean, he decided for a different way, and of course he was right.
Well, you know, these are choices in life, and I cannot make everyone happy. But you know, I felt like, you know, tennis was something for me, and with skiing I was a good skier. But in the other way was the sport is different. You know, it's you make mistakes and you cannot win, and I don't like to lose. In tennis, you can make mistakes and you can still win the match. And I was young, I just made a choice and put myself in the fire.
Ich habe immer gesagt, also du musst dich so entscheiden, wo es dir am meisten Spaß macht. Wo du sagst, das macht mir am meisten Freude. Dann ist das ganz egal, was du entscheidest. Ja, sicher war es schade, weil er auf beiden Seiten recht gut war. Nicht? Jetzt, dass er natürlich in Tennis so schnell nach oben geht, hat man sich eigentlich auch nicht vorstellen können. Aber das ist jetzt ja so und so das Beste, was er tun hat können. Ein Kumpel von mir auch, der Tennislehrer, der hat schon vor 3-4 Jahren hat er gesagt, also 24 wird er die Nummer 1 auf der Welt.
Also ich bin Andreas Schönecker, komme aus Innichen. Und ich war derjenige, der den Jannik den Tennisschläger in die Hand gegeben hat, mit 4 Jahren. Sky angerufen, hat mich gefragt, ob sie ein Interview machen können. Das war bei mir zu Hause. Und die letzte Frage war, was ich denke, wo Jannik irgendwo hinkommen könnte. Und dann habe ich gesagt, das war 2019, dann habe ich gesagt, 2024 ist er die Nummer 1 der Welt.
Jannik, I can't leave you without telling you one thing. Next Monday, at the age of 22 years old, you will become the first Italian ever to be number 1 in the world.
Von dem her, vom Kopf her hat man schon gleich gemerkt. Keine Trainerstunde verpasst, er war immer pünktlich. Er wollte immer dazulernen. Nach dem Spiel, wenn andere gesagt haben, ist jetzt endlich fertig, hat er gesagt, müssen wir jetzt schon aufhören, ich möchte noch weitermachen. Die Mentalität vielleicht ist nicht so die italienische, die Arbeiten. Also ohne Arbeit geht gar nichts, kein Fleiß, kein Preis. Mein Kollege, der Hebi, dann entwickelt und auch gemerkt, dass da schon was weitergeht, dass da wirklich was draus werden kann.
Jannik kam mit 7 Jahren zu mir. Und zwar, da hat man schon gesehen, dass er etwas mehr hat wie die anderen Spieler, die Gleichaltrigen. Ja, war ein auffälliges Kind, schulterlange Haare, rote, der Schläger größer wie er. Das war Spaß jetzt. Ne? Und was vor allem schon für sein Alter bemerkenswert war, er konnte das Spiel vom Gegner lesen. Man musste ihm nicht sagen, es wäre besser gewesen, du hast mehr auf die Rückhand gespielt oder variiere ein bisschen oder streue einen Stopp allein. Das hat er von selbst alles gemacht. Ja, er hatte schon im Kopf, war er sicherlich viel stärker wie die anderen schon. Er hat schon gedacht wie ein Erwachsener und wie gesagt auch eine Platzübersicht, eine Spielübersicht bei den Erwachsenen nicht gesehen.
The first coach, Ando, when I reached a certain level, he said, "Look, I helped you now, and I cannot do nothing anymore." So they are very honest and open-minded people. So we tried to search, the next coach, which then was Hebi, and with Hebi happened the same thing. And they have been truly honest with me, and especially when I was young. And I think this is also very tough to see from people now.
And it's men's third round singles. It gets us underway on Margaret Court Arena. Sebastian Baez taking on Jannik Sinner. A near complete performance from a player rapidly evolving into a complete player. Jannik Sinner breezes into the 4th round at Melbourne Park.
Das war der Typ, der hatte 3 Tage unterwegs sein. Das war okay. Aber was über 3 Tage hinweg gegangen ist, also länger war, da hat er Heimweh bekommen. Das war auch ein Grund, dass ich sehr überrascht war, wo ich gesagt habe, dass sich jetzt Jannik entschieden hat, nach Bordighera zu gehen.
Vieni e poi torna indietro, bravo. Vieni e torna indietro, va bene. All the coaches need to give information for every shot. Tell everything if it's going well or not. All good?
Yes, all good.
Bravo. Jannik arrived here when he was 13 years old. I remember that I saw him in Milano during one tournament under 12 years old. I remember him for his hair was red, but I didn't know the name. And then I saw to practice, and I said, okay, this guy I want to adopt.
Natürlich am Anfang war das kein gutes Gefühl für mich, weil ich gesagt habe, jetzt habe ich endlich einmal wieder einen guten Spieler und jetzt kommt man wieder abhand, nicht? Aber im Nachhinein war das die beste Entscheidung, was er getroffen hat.
So when I met first time with the parents, I asked to the father, why you want that Jannik come to Bordighera? And they told me, the father told me, because he want to.
It was crucial what the family did in terms of allowing Jannik to leave home at that age, to go to Bordighera in northern Italy again, but still very far from home. Given that the extra complication, not just the language, but the habits and the attitude and the mentality, he became hardworking. He became fearless. I think that was crucial.
you know, at some point, obviously, you have to make a couple of choices, which my choice was around 13 and a half to go away. But leaving the friends was a very tough one. But, you know, sometimes you have to make sacrifices to hopefully one day achieving something big.
So this place, this is the first court that English built when they arrived here in Italy. So this is the first court in Italy. This is one of the court that he used when he started here. I saw this kid, ball goes very fast, feet were all very close to the baseline, try to impose his game, and I said, okay, he's something different than the other one. This one I can say, something different. The thing that I understand immediately, it was this. Okay, this guy, I need to take care which kind of word use and where, when and how. You know, because it was like this, not talking a lot, but very precise.
He's thinking just tennis. His life is moving for tennis. And this is a quality that I saw also. I thinking from the first day, like when I saw Djokovic, no? This kind of, you know, they living for. They are focused.
Jannik, this is Max. We're good? Good, and you?
Day 8 of the Australian Open. Certainly a marquee round of 16 contest between a red-hot world number 4 and Karen Khachanov, a semi-finalist from last year. A significant step into the second week of the Australian Open for Jannik Sinner. He's not dropped a set yet at Melbourne Park.
Of course, a big team around this man. You know, the likes of Darren Cahill, who was there next to Simone Vagnozzi. Simone took over when the partnership with Riccardo Piatti came to an end.
Was tough, sure. For me, sure, was tough. But I think it was, for him, a good decision.
Sinner, in a very animated conversation with his coaching team, he is frustrated at the minutes.
Big concerns if you're Riccardo Piatti?
The most important things when I listen this that he was changing, I say he has, I don't know if I can say the balls to decide. Don't know in English, but we say like this. He wants to invest to himself to give the best that he can. That's the best way to live a career.
I'm amazed how Jannik Sinner at that young age decided to take his time to evaluate everything. Again, he has this mentor in Alex Vitor, who's probably the one that helped him making this big decision with a big parachute, like kind of reassuring Jannik that he was always going to be by his side, that he was not going to do something wrong, that it would have taken time, but in the end things would have paid off. And Alex Vitor and Simone Vagnozzi used to play together because they were the ones that somehow had to prove that Jannik could walk on a different path and yet get to his goal.
Ich war nicht besonders begeistert, aber jetzt im Nachhinein hat er sicher einen guten Griff gemacht. Aber scheinbar haben sie einen goldenen Griff getan. Mit Vagnozzi, Cain, und da haben sie ein super Team drumherum aufgebaut.
Io mi butto nel fuoco, cioè io voglio conoscere un altro metodo di lavoro. Non è detto che era la mossa giusta, non è detto che era la mossa sbagliata, perché non si sa mai. Magari se rimanevo lì ero più forte di come sono ora, quindi non si sa.
When you're good in something, you have always to find the small thing that where you can make it a little better again, yes? My teacher in school told me always, if you stop you go down. You can never have a straight line. You have always to level up. And yeah, that's the same thing in his sport. And I think that's the same thing in life also. That's life, yeah, in every aspect of it.
I like Milano. I born here. We are elegant, we are very passionate. We have a talent, there's a good food. You can find always a good hotel where to spend the week. In Italy, we grow up when we are 5 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old with the clay courts, no hard. Clay is the first service. So we start always with a long rally, with a technique that brings us to take the power to use it and to open the mind, to find the angle, the cross, when to play. So the tactic in Italy is important.
We're watching Spain or other country like United States, that all the players there was, I have to say, similar. Because in the States, huge serve, huge forehand. In Spain, they was trying to use a lot of spin. The Italian Federation, no. We don't have, we have a school, but not that we have to follow some rules. And then I think it's why we have Sinner that is playing like this.
In Italy, we are very artistic, very talentuous. But we have to work. We are not systematic. We are lucky in Italy for one thing, that we have many tournaments in Italy.
I don't think there is a specific industrial recipe or process that can guarantee you champions like Jannik Sinner, but I think you can find a way to put many players in the top 100. I think one of those is definitely the amount of futures and challenges that we had in the country in the last, 10, 15, 20 years.
So what does it mean? That every week you're gonna have wildcard for Italian players? But it's not only them. They're gonna bring the coach, and the coach, they can watch and talk with other coaches from other countries. So they're gonna improve. And after 20 years, that's why now the Italian Federation have so many good coaches and so many good players.
That helps the young players getting job opportunities, also competition opportunity without having to travel, because one of the issues is obviously the cost of traveling and playing different tournaments around the world.
It's so much easier for us, I think, that maybe Australian or maybe African guy that have to travel very far from home. I don't know. I think that we are very lucky.
The federation organized many tournaments in Italy, so for lower level, they had the opportunity to give many wild cards to the young players and to me as well. So they helped me a lot.
The Italian Tennis Federation has done a great job. We have 9 players in the top 100, which I find always to be the metric for defining, whether a federation is doing well or not.
But for sure, now we are many players that are doing some great results, and everyone now is trying to push to each other to do a better matches and try to practice even more. So it's a good thing.
If you watch right now, we have Musetti, we have Arnaldi, we have Cobolli, we have Nardi.
Okay, Musetti is good.
Musetti is a nice guy.
With Musetti, since we were 10 years old.
It's really, let's say, motivating to see a lot of young players coming through, and being part of this movement, it's really makes me proud.
I am a friend a lot with Flavio Cobolli, so I definitely him with my brother.
Do you make each other better?
No, no. Australian Open, special moment. The first time with the fifth set, so a win against Jari in the fifth set was amazing. The match against Kotov also. Playing against Alex in the big stadium was amazing for me. Like here, the people love tennis, so maybe love also me.
I'm a big fan of Melbourne. I remember Seppi beating Federer.
And that's it. What an unbelievable finish to this match.
Very important. It was a big moment, so I remember that very, very clearly in my mind.
And he ends it. Matteo Arnaldi gets this year at the Australian Open off to the perfect start.
That was really fun. I think it's the funnest thing that I did this year. I wasn't a good driver, but yeah, I did with confidence, always. That's the most important word, confidence in everything.
Jannik Sinner looked confident when he walked out, and he has the record to prove that as the tournament goes on, he gets better.
Sinner has beaten down Rublev's door. He is through to his very first semi-final at the Australian Open with a beautiful choreography of how he plays this game. Brutality and tennis intelligence in spades. Yeah, Darren Cahill, part of that team, Simone Ivagnozzi, Umberto Ferrar. Try to keep him one piece, and the ultimate test as he takes on Djokovic in the semi-finals. Grazie tutti. Thank you very much.
Perché quando si parla dell'Italia si sentono suonare i mandolini. La pizza, gli spaghetti al pomodoro. L'Italia non è sola questo qui.
The Foro Italico, I find a really beautiful environment. There's so much history here. It's really unique.
Riunite in una grande fantasia.
In Italy, in Rome especially, the crowd is very special. I was born in Rome, so for me it's very pleasure to play there.
Mamma mia, qui è tutta un'allegria.
When I was young, I come here to see the biggest tennis player, and now I play the main draw, so it was an honor and a pleasure.
Every kid that playing tennis, when it's Rome time, you're gonna take the bus and is gonna come to watch tennis. At the end of this tournament, we're gonna have 55,000 kids only for these 12 days. And I think this is the first step that bring you to dream to become a tennis player. And this is the first step. The last step is Jannik Sinner.
Napoli che canta al sole mio.
This is the biggest tournament in Italy, but and I think that Sergio Palmieri before me, he teach me a lot. But then we're gonna see if he teach me well.
Here we have all the picture from the first year in 1930 of the winner of the Italian Open. My dad, which I don't even recognize, he won in 34. All the best players play here. And Margaret Court won 1, 2, 3 years in a row. Beside Laver, you have Tony Roach, all the Australian. You see, this was the golden era of Australia. They drink a lot of beer, but he was a great player, very good player. Come stai? I saw some of your pictures there. I know all those players. Gardini, Pietrangeli won 3 times. With him in the team, we went to the Davis Cup final 3 times. It was very important for tennis.
So this place is magic. I promise, really, it looks magic. You come in for the first time,
and everybody said, ooh. But Italy in this moment is a number one world for tennis, really from far away, number one country in the world. Number one, because we won the Davis Cup.
Italy are the Davis Cup champions, 2023. And now the party can begin.
They are good player, and they are very good guys too. They are very good friends, and then that form a real team.
The friendship is really important for us, and the goal of the Italian team. We enjoy every moment together.
Just playing Davis Cup, do it for Italy. So, like yesterday, being central court with everyone in the team, you know, I get also emotional a bit just to talk about it.
You've always been a huge star in Italy, but especially after winning the Davis Cup, can you just describe to us how big a deal that was in Italy?
Let's say that maybe before the Davis Cup, I was not. I couldn't imagine how big of a deal this was, no. And then after you realize how important Davis Cup is.
Of course, Jannik Sinner is the most known sportsman in Italy by far.
Well, Italians can't live without football, but tennis is not getting there.
When you start to become very good, then you know many doors open.
We like to have a little bit of off-court work to do, and Jannik at the moment is the most popular with something for Gucci, I think. Matteo, huge leader of Boss.
The style is really important in Italy. I'm the best with Armani. I won the Carota Boys as well, and so my tennis matches.
The Carota Boys are in full voice. They have been a wonderful support crew.
It is a special feeling. You have this fan club which is basically coming now to a lot of tournaments, and they give you a good feeling, you know, they are a kind of family in one way. Veramente sotto ci sono i physio room, no? Dove c'è tipo una televisione, no? Ok. Però sei cazzo lì, ho detto ma che cazzo fanno? Siete più famosi voi che...
The stock of carrots must have gone up through the roof.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to men's singles semi-finals day. An absolute blockbuster. It doesn't get much better than this. Novak Djokovic taking on Jannik Sinner for a place in Sunday's showpiece final.
When you are in a fight, the most important thing is to go. There is no limit on it.
Sinner with the best possible start.
Not only have to watch, you have to hear. The way when he hears the ball is different from his opponent.
Well, everything going Sinner's way. Djokovic can't find his serve, he can't find his backhand.
For the first couple of sets, he played the best tennis that an Italian player has ever played, ever.
For the second time in his career, Jannik Sinner takes a 2-6-0 lead against Djokovic.
So with Novak, I think it find a good balance on his game. Not too aggressive, not too consistency, you know.
The best player on the planet has won the third set, and that means game on.
Jannik hat gute Möglichkeiten. Djokovic im Davis Cup hat Jannik gewonnen. Und da hat man schon gesehen, dass er auf dem gleichen Level spielt wie Djokovic. Bei den Australian Open habe ich eine gute Chance eingeräumt.
It's sensational from Jannik. He is through to his first major final, and in doing so, it becomes the only Italian player in history to reach an Australian Open singles final.
Well, what a moment, Robbie. What a moment. Not just for this young man, for Italian tennis, for the global stage.
You need to be careful. They need to know in which way to control this. Everybody, you know, is like a god now. and Italian. Sometimes they bring there and then they destroy it. You know, you need to be careful.
As long as Sinner is so much loved, rightfully so, then the media obviously helped to create this living legend, this larger-than-life character. I think that happens anywhere in the world. As long as you win, you're a hero. When you don't, it's kind of easier to be put down. And I don't think it's just about media, it's about social media as well, and just people's perception.
I think, okay, for sure, his team now and people around him, you know, need to understand, and they do, how to manage this situation, you know.
Wir als Gemeinde, die Eltern, niemand hat Erfahrung mit solchen Situationen. Und dementsprechend versucht man halt einfach diese Normalität sich beizubehalten und mit der Situation so normal wie möglich umzugehen.
Also sobald er Zeit hat, kommt er immer auf 2-3 Tage, besucht er Vater nach Sechsten zu seiner Familie. Er versucht das nachzuholen, was er als Jugendlicher wahrscheinlich versäumt hat. Versucht jetzt eben so viel Zeit wie möglich zu Hause zu verbringen, bei den Eltern, bei seinen Freunden.
Here he can relax because people aren't like crazy to him.
When you are known like him and you made it so high, always to stay focused and to forget all the distractions that are coming to you is not easy, but he's doing it.
As I said before, it's so super strange to see our boy playing at that level, Australian Open Grand Slam final.
Hello and welcome to everyone for today's men's final of the Australian Open. A little calm before the storm.
Hin und wieder muss ich mich direkt zwicken und sagen, stimmt das wirklich, was ich da sehe? Also es ist ja eigentlich gar nicht irgendwo beinahe nicht realistisch, was man da miterlebt.
Jannik Sinner, who did what many people thought was the impossible in stopping Novak Djokovic in the semi-finals of the Australian Open.
We had a ski race. The other coach and we were there with 20 kids. And of course, we was watching on the app.
And there is Daniil Medvedev. They both won their name on the Norman Brooks Challenge Cup. Destiny doesn't do home visits.
Sein erster Grand Slam-Titel, auf den hat man eigentlich gewartet. Es stand ja ständig in der Kritik ein bisschen, dass er nichts gewonnen hat, noch keinen großen Titel gewonnen hat.
Two potential champions, both with the same dream. And that's Medvedev at his absolute best. It's not just the coffee in Melbourne that's magic. Breathtaking start, 6-3.
Daniil was, they say, more experienced on this side, but it was such an amazing final to watch and to cheer, of course, for Jannik.
He ended up stumbling over the finishing line, but Medvedev, in the end, leads 2-0 here in Melbourne.
He started to play a bit more deep and push a bit more deep Medvedev. He started to manage better.
Well, his forehand is starting to look ominous.
Wo die ersten 2 Sätze weg waren und wir kennen ihn ja, also aufgeben gibt's bei ihm nicht. Wo er dann zurückkam und ja, das war ein unbeschreibliches Gefühl. Also.
This most magical 15 days here in Melbourne continues to deliver. What have they got in store for us next?
And sometimes you go over the limit, sometimes, often. Who goes over the limits is mean that can reach a place that you can even imagine, but then you reach naturally.
This quite remarkable 15 days gives us one final set.
You can't describe it. No, it's it's very it's unbelievable.
And for a moment it feels as though we're in Milan and not Melbourne.
But for me, what was impressive was the match point, which was, the easy ball falling down the line.
And a simply sensational way for Jannik Sinner to win the Australian Open. His maiden major happens in Melbourne.
Das Gefühl nicht. Das kann ich so nicht beschreiben. Das mir hat es einfach übermannt. Das ist über mich gekommen und
When he moved away from Riccardo Piatti, some wondered what was going to be the outcome of that decision. Well, here is the culmination of that decision.
To be a champion, you can't be just an athlete. You have to listen the people that you have around to understand the game and to understand what is outside.
Alle lagen sich in den Armen und gab schon 1-2 Flaschen Champagner.
We can't believe it. It's very, very strange, yes. He's a Grand Slam champion. Surreal.
Ich habe seinen Vater beim Viertelfinale, glaube ich, habe ich ihn angerufen, habe gesagt, also er wird gewinnen. Und schon da haben wir dann besprochen, dass wir was machen möchten, dass wir einfach seine Leistung angemessen würdigen möchten und wo wir vor allen Dingen den Fokus auf die Kinder legen wollen. Das ist ja, glaube ich, auch ein großes Anliegen von Jannik, dass auch den Kindern das darzulegen, wo man eben hinkommen kann.
Now we go to the place where I've practiced tennis for the first time, me and my dad, back in the days. And here is the sports center, there is the football in the back, and no, it's really nice. It's always good and special feelings to come here. It's very, very good. There were many young kids. They are, from the sports activity, and not only here from this town, but a couple of towns away from here also. And I think they are very happy to don't go to school today. So. I'm the same guy as when I left from here, and I'm still the same guy, and they recognize it. It's I'm just a tennis player, and whenever he comes back, he's in the same way. So I think it's very important for me to give something positive to them, because they gave me something nice, and obviously it's nice to give something good back.
Hey, steig. Hey, steig. Super, danke. Danke.
So we went in the same class for quite a long time, and it's nice to see him, making this very cool stuff, and it means so much to me to have this kind of thing, because you also know the person who you have in front, and you know exactly how he was back in the school.
Nein, ein ganzes Land ist stolz auf dich. Jannik Sinner!
If I can say something, is to keep going, to be who he is, mentally to grow, to be an example for everybody.
Every nation, every country needs a hero, and he is the hero for the Italians.
His character very kind and also very wise. I appreciate very much also his dedication. That's very interesting for me.